Today, I want to share with you about an incredible conversation that I had with Archangel Michael. Hi, I'm Saratoga Ocean, and I work together with an interdimensional, interuniversal, and extraterrestrial force known as Telstar, along with Archangel Michael. Now, a couple of days ago, I had the most amazing and surprising conversation with Archangel Michael. If you wonder how that happens, I can see him as clearly as I can see anyone else. All this means is that I have my interdimensional senses open. So I can see in this dimension while also seeing and hearing him at the same time. He's in the room with me, just like any of you would be if we were talking together. Now, we have multiple ways in which we communicate, but when it's conversational, it generally happens when he appears and I can see him and he talks to me. And I, of course, talk to him as well. And believe me, the dimension that he is coming from is far more real and just full of substance. So much more so than what we experience here. I mean, it is just indescribably gorgeous. Whereas this third dimension that we live in here is very dim and faint by comparison. Anyway, Archangel Michael and I started off talking about sleep. Because one thing I have always struggled with is being a night owl. Now, I have mostly changed that, but I still want to get even more connected to the cycles of the sun. I still feel that my sleep patterns are too erratic when it comes to day and night. Now, one of the things that Archangel Michael has always told me is that whenever you're on a planet, the first thing you should do is get connected to the central star of that solar system. I mean, that just makes complete sense. I can't exactly tell you why, but I just know that it's true. Now, obviously, it's the electric lights and all of the screens that completely throw us off with this. Now, before I continue, if you are into the flat earth and the fake sun and the fake moon, then you are not going to like this message. So I'm giving you fair warning in case you want to turn off this video instead of complaining to me in the comments. Now, I often have conversations with Archangel Michael that unfold into something completely magical. And that's what happened with this conversation. Now, I figured that I knew everything there is to know about sleep, which is basically, hey, Saratoga, go to bed at 9 and get up at 5. I mean, that's simple, right? Well, being that Archangel Michael is smarter than that, he opened up a door to the most amazing new world of things that I had never ever seen before. So I'm going to share that with you as best I can. And this is not just about sleep. It goes well beyond that into an entirely different understanding about nature and about where we need to be in this world. What he shared with me literally blew my mind. I have never thought about anything in the way that he framed it for me. By the time he was finished talking to me, I just sat there for the longest time, just drinking in this new experience. I didn't want to be anywhere else. I just wanted to be in the magical revelation that had just unfolded for me. I mean, it was amazing. Now, I've told you all before about how destructive this transhuman thing is and how serious it is that the controllers are trying to destroy the existence of men and women. They want to completely erase any notion that we have of divine masculine and divine feminine. As far as the controllers are concerned, masculinity is toxic and men should not exist, which is why they tell us that the epitome of a man is one who wants to be a woman and dress like a woman. And as far as women are concerned, they too are automatically erased. And we are told that we have no voice at all. We have no existence at all. The only so-called women who should be listened to are men who are pretending to be women. If you're an actual woman, then you should just get lost. You don't have a right to anything because you don't actually exist. Remember how many times we were told that no one knows what a woman is? Remember that? And isn't it funny how the men pretending to be women are always dressed in the most clownish kind of pornographic ways? They portray women in the most demeaning way possible. There is no dignity or beauty of any kind. I mean, they make women look like an absolute joke. Now, I know it might seem like I'm getting off topic. You might say, wait a second, Saratoga, what does this have to do with sleep and nature? Well, hold on, because I'm going to explain that to you. Now, Archangel Michael is brilliant at weaving a communication that goes well beyond the words. So he shared some things with me that literally opened a new doorway in my consciousness. Now, I don't know if I can do it full justice with you guys, but I will do my best. Now, he started talking about day and night and how that obviously gets created on our planet through the rotation of the Earth. He said that nighttime is the yin to the yang of daytime. So right there, you can see how the cycle of day and night completely embodies the foundational magnetic principles of all creation. Yin being a feminine energy and yang being a masculine energy. Then he pointed out that sleep is the yin to the yang of our waking hours of activity. He said that you could liken the cycle of sleep and an awakened state to the same yin and yang of night and day. That cycle is absolutely aligned with the same basic creation principles of the yin and yang of night and day. So we have the yin and yang of night and day, and then all of life on Earth flows seamlessly and perfectly into that cycle with sleep and wakefulness. Then he brought up the subject of breathing. He said it's the same thing. The inhale and the exhale also mirror the primordial forces of yin and yang. Now, if you follow your breath in meditation, you can get to a place of oneness in your breath where both the inhale and the exhale merge seamlessly together as one. This is when you can connect to the life force that animates all things. He said you wouldn't try to have too much inhale and not enough exhale. They always need to be in balance in order for you to function. And sleep is very much like that. He was pointing out to me how everything in creation mirrors and embodies these creation forces of yin and yang, or feminine and masculine. Then he brought up the topic of how you can get really out of balance if you don't have balanced sleep and balanced timing of when you sleep. Too many wakeful hours and too few sleeping hours throw you completely out of alignment with all of these natural cycles of yin and yang. But he also said that the timing of when you sleep and when you wake up are critical if you want to function at optimal levels. You want to get that timing as closely synchronized with the sun and the earth as much as possible. And then he talked about how the ego has no use for this at all. The egoic mind doesn't believe there's a whole lot of point to this kind of alignment. It believes that you should function in opposition to nature by completely ignoring it. Then he took it even further to explain how these powerful forces of nature are there to support us. Now, he has always referred to the universe as the womb of all creation. He said the universe can be likened to the divine feminine or to yin energy. It is receptive and waiting for creation to be established within it. And light, such as the light and energy of the stars, can be likened to the divine masculine or to yang energy. Both are absolutely essential to one another in perfect balance and in equal measure. This light pierces the darkness of the universe and new creation is born. That creation then expands into a radiating flow of ongoing manifestation. Then he brought all of this back to the subject of sleep. He said that sleep is the female aspect of our daily physical life cycle, and wakeful activity is the male aspect of our daily cycle. When we put both of these things in balance, then we are aligned with the deeper yin and yang forces of creation as they manifest in our part of the universe. Ideally, where sleep and waking are concerned, both need to be brought into a harmonic balance that aligns with the sun and the earth. Then he reminded me about what I told you earlier, that he has always said that the universe is the womb of all creation. And he asked, when are you most connected with the universe? Well, at night, of course. That is when you are most connected to the expansiveness of space, because you can literally see the stars outlining your part of the universe. It's also when people are most receptive to new ideas. And it's why many people over the ages have awakened in the middle of the night with their most brilliant ideas. He said that nighttime holds the mystery and the majesty of the universe, and daytime is activation for new creations to manifest. And then he said that electric lights are an intrusion upon this beautiful balance, and screens are even worse. He said that screens will draw you into an alternate dimension where none of this beauty exists. He said that ignoring sleep in favor of too much light and wakefulness clearly doesn't work because the sun and the earth will not cooperate with you. And then he said that the earth is a sphere for a reason. Its shape is what creates this beautiful balance between day and night. It creates the natural rhythm and grace between the two. And he referred to this as the rhythm and the music of the spheres. Now, he didn't get into the seasons, but I was thinking about how that slight tilt of the earth as it revolves around the sun also creates the amazing beauty of the seasons. I was thinking about the larger life cycles that we see throughout nature as we go through the 4 seasons in so many different ways, depending on where you are on the planet. He said that women are the divine feminine, and nighttime is female in nature. It's open, it's expansive, and sleep is aligned with this because it's all about surrender and letting go. He said that nighttime is the receiver for the light of daytime. He said that women are very similar to nighttime, which is the expansive space of unborn creation. And then he said that women are often difficult for men to understand because there is so much mystery and mysticism about them. He said the universe knows what it is capable of, as do women. And he pointed out that the moon is often associated with clearing, with cleansing, and with new beginnings. It's also meant to activate women's menstrual cycles, which are also about the same thing. Clearing and cleansing and making way for fresh new life. He said that women themselves offer the endless promise of new creation. And it's why he said they often come up with truly amazing solutions. Then he pointed out that the universe is still, it's quiet, it's receptive. But he said its stillness should not be confused with passivity. On the contrary, he said, it indicates a supreme level of confidence. And the light of the stars is active. It radiates power and forward movement. It is the yang force of masculine energy. He said the principles of light are so deep and so all-encompassing that there is no doubt there either. So after all of this, his main point is that when we align our sleep and waking hours with these profound and powerful principles of day and night, darkness and light, then we can be supported in our own lives by these huge forces of nature that sustain the entire universe. Now, Archangel Michael has a way of communicating that goes way beyond the words. If you just open up and listen to him, you can be transported to some of the most amazing experiences. And that's how I felt during this conversation. I don't know if I can even remotely convey to you what it actually felt like, but I can tell you that I felt the most profound connection to some huge forces of nature and the cosmos that I don't even think about, much less have an experience of. So now I have a completely different view about sleep. This conversation expanded to show me how deeply interconnected we are with the entire universe, and how important it is to be conscious of that experience and stay aligned with it. And later on, as I was thinking about all of this, I realized that AI and the internet have none of this. You cannot create this level of power and beauty in a fake synthetic way. It's either the real thing or you are being completely fooled. The amazing thing is that we can experience this brilliance that Archangel Michael talked about while we are here on a physical level. And from here, our role is to evolve beyond duality until we eventually ascend into the most magnificent universe that is whole and complete, without any of the pitfalls and traps that this dimension holds. And the other thing that I realized is that we don't need a new Earth. What we need is the real Earth. Now, Archangel Michael also told me that people on Earth don't understand their real role as a humanity. But he said that that understanding will eventually come with time. And how long that time is will be up to the people here. It really depends on people's desire to evolve and on how passionate they are about that desire. He said that when people get deeply fed up with the pain that they're experiencing, and this is key, this next part is key, at a cosmic level where all complaining stops, then they will shift into an entirely new level of consciousness, one that is much more conducive to their evolution. He said that right now there is far too much fighting, complaining, and separation for an evolutionary environment to be shared by all people here. There is still war and greed and the struggle for power over others. This is exactly what makes this planet so incredibly vulnerable to being infiltrated by an alien enemy, which is what is happening now. So he said that the best thing to do under these circumstances is to evolve yourself. He said there is no time left to wait for others. And then he said that if people want to do something useful, they can contribute their own energy of evolution into the planetary environment. He said that would actually help more than anything else. So I think I'm going to leave it at that. I hope you have enjoyed this video and Archangel Michael's message to me, which I sense is really for all of us. And if you found value in this, please give this video a thumbs up and share it out with anyone else who you think would enjoy some inspiration and hope. And be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell because I am here every Tuesday with all new videos. And with that, I'm sending you so much love, light, and high vibrational energy. Have a beautiful day, my friends. Namaste.